Hi, welcome to JoshLebeau.com. Just want to walk you through a technique right now that will bring you into the sensation of what I call structural respiration. I want you to be able to engage your abdominal wall correctly to moderate and balance the diaphragm on inhalation. This way, you maintain structure while you breathe, which is critical because we're standing and walking around most of the time, and most breathing techniques I look at or learn are all about deep breathing or meditative breathing or breathing exercises or breathing different ways to expand or contract the diaphragm. I want to teach you guys about breathing for everyday life, for athletic performance, and for normal function, which includes being able to maintain structural integrity through inhalation and exhalation throughout the day. And that requires activating your true core, which really is your abdominal wall as a balancer in respiration to the diaphragm. So your true core is a respiratory core, because respiration is the core of your life. So turning your abdominal wall into functional breathers, your deep internal obliques, your transversus abdominis, they have a deep job to do in respiration, especially eccentrically. Most people think they're exhalers and they help you exhale, and they do. But they also eccentrically contract on inhalation to keep the rib cage balanced and in the right position so the diaphragm can fill the lungs when it contracts. So I'm going to bring you through this visualization to help you feel that, because it's really not easy to feel. What I'm going to do, I'm going to explain it real quick, is I'm going to have you on your back with your knees bent, with your tail tucked under gently or as much as you can. Let your back be as flat as possible and let your rib cage settle down to the degree that you're comfortable. Breathe in 3 or 4 times and feel your breath. Then I'm going to ask you to belly breathe 3 or 4 times and feel that breath. Then I'm going to ask you to take that breath, that belly breath, and as you're breathing into your belly, think about it flowing down your spine and into your tailbone. So yes, your belly's still rising, but you're putting that air into your tailbone and not your belly. Then as you're doing that, you're going to visualize a circle around your entire body here. Okay, that the air goes down through those lower ribs. It's kind of like that circle with the diaphragm. The air is going right through that circle, that ring, okay, of your lower rib cage. And you're just visualizing that air go through that ring and into that tailbone. Then I'm going to ask you on exhale to make that ring smaller. A little bit smaller, and to hold it smaller as you inhale into your tailbone 3 or 4 times. So you keep that ring mildly smaller, which means your abs have to engage as you inhale with your diaphragm to get that air down into your tailbone. Then take that ring on an exhale and make it even smaller. Bring that ring, start to bring it from a nice hula hoop down to a frisbee, all the way down in your last sort of series of exhales. I want you to take that thing as tight as you can. I mean, you can imagine a wedding ring if you possibly can think about it. I want that ring to get small, and I want that air to go through a small little space while you anchor with all your ab strength and focus on holding back that diaphragm on inhale. This is just a technique to engage the engine of structural respiration. But that sort of explains the nuts and bolts of it, and you can probably begin to practice it based on those instructions and the ones I've written out. All right, my friend, we want to just do this structural breathing visualization technique. You with me?
I'm with you.
Put all sarcasm aside, and let's make this happen.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part. All right. So first, I just want you to breathe in and out, and just be conscious with your breathing, okay? As you're laying here. Now, Nick, I'm going to ask you to tuck your tail under a little bit, push your feet through the floor, tuck your tail under. Good. Make your back flat as you can on the ground. You got it? And just breathe out and let those ribs settle just a little bit down. Okay? Good. So you're just looking to feel settled here so your back is kind of flat. Now just breathe in and out. Now I want you to imagine what we think of as belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. And even though we know it's not diaphragmatic breathing, I want you just to breathe into your belly. That's it. So your belly's rising on inhale and falling on exhale. Just a few, 2 to 3 breaths. Excellent. Now I'd like you just to send that air, that same air that's going into your belly, instead into your tailbone. And feel your back filling. That's it. You can feel it. The belly rises just a little less, but it still rises. And your low back is filling on the table. Excellent. Now you're going to visualize that air goes through this circle here, this hoop, right, of your lower ribs. So we can see that air traveling down the spine, through that circle of the lower ribs and into the tailbone. Okay. Inhale. Now on this exhale, I would like you to make that circle smaller. Breathe out, make that circle smaller. Excellent. Hold it a little bit smaller and breathe into your tailbone. Keep it smaller. Good. And out. Good. Inhale into your tailbone, keeping the hoop a little smaller. And out. Now when you breathe out, make that hoop smaller again and hold it even smaller. Right there, you're going to feel your abdominal wall drawing in, especially on the sides, and helping to hold that wall a little smaller. Okay? I like to sometimes put my fingers right about here and tell you to think about when you make that circle smaller, like you're trying to come down and grab these two fingers and bring them into your body. Almost pinch them between your ribs and pelvis. Okay? So inhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Let's make that hoop smaller and bring these fingers down. Use your abs a little to grab them. Good. Now keep that hoop small. Breathe through that hoop into your tailbone. In through that hoop into your tailbone. That's it. You can feel that pressure happening. Making sure when you inhale to let your neck relax. Good. Exhale. Hold it down tight. Inhale. Neck relax. And then as you exhale, that chin can go up a little bit and the neck can relax upward. Beautiful. Hold it small. Inhale one more time. Let's exhale. Make that hoop as small as you can all the way down. Anchor it, and inhale. Don't make it low. Let it move. And relax. Beautiful. All right. So that's just sort of the walk to try to get some structural respiration out. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I did, but it was really hard not to be sarcastic.
Well, thank you very much for maintaining your composure. We want to thank Nick for maintaining his composure here today, for all of our benefits. Okay, I'm just breathing in and out. As I exhale, I'm going to allow my chin to go up and my neck to relax, so I don't build up as much neck tension as I can if I try and keep it straight while I'm exhaling. And I'm going to anchor it, and as I inhale, I'm just going to keep my neck relaxed. Okay, but I'm now inhaling with that abdominal tension, anchoring this point to this point, and keeping my ring a little bit smaller, and trying to breathe through my ring into my tailbone. So I take 2 or 3 breaths each time, and then I try and bring my ring down even smaller and hold it down on exhale. Gently drawing my abs in instead of out. I'm drawing them in to anchor that ring down. Keep the ring down, inhaling into my tail. Keep that ring nice and tight. And you'll feel the pressure, you'll feel the buildup, you'll feel the changes in your body, you'll feel possibly pressure, you should feel pressure in your head, in the diaphragm of your skull, right? So we're actually activating the cerebral spinal pump, we're making pressure changes throughout the body, we're changing pH. So much is happening right now with structural respiration. And then once you stand up and actually put yourself on your feet, you have to hold your abdominal wall into a decent position while you're standing on your feet, or you go over backward and you kind of release the rib cage, which lets go of structure, which is not anything you want to do when you're standing or running around or walking. So we need to maintain some form of core structure throughout respiration if we're going to survive a day. So that's sort of the art of what I call structural respiration. It's trying to get you to come to a place where you can sense in your own body what it's like to actually inhale with a correctly anchoring diaphragm, correctly anchoring abdominal wall, which is countering and balancing that diaphragmatic contraction so you can breathe without losing structure, without completely destabilizing while you're living your life. So if you have any questions, let me know. JoshLebeau.com. This is an incredibly beneficial technique. If you're having trouble with it, I suggest coming in and just kind of clarifying it, because it will impact your life in ways I just cannot describe. Good luck. Happy working with you.